Good evening, everyone. Freya, Dude Inside Lex, signing in again. It's funny watching myself in these videos. I'm very thespian, very emotional, loud. I wanted to come back to these because what was interesting to me, and just the things I think are important to recap in case those videos are out there. There's a lot of energy in them. I look at things like that and I realize, yeah, I'm pretty rash a lot of the time on that energy. But then again, when I mention those communities who are struggling, who have struggled in the past, they've been segregated or discriminated against, that's how they sound now. They're angry. Are you listening? You hear their emotion and how much they're hurting. And here's what's key. There's two kinds of advanced weaponry. I actually did some research about it. Sorry for my eyes and everything, folks. This is all indicative of being subjected to LRADs repeatedly, daily after day here. I feel horrible all the time. I'm hella skinny. I can't gain weight hardly at all, no matter what I eat or how much I eat. I found a leech in my cat's food and in my food. I tried to show it to the Burke Museum, but for some reason they called it a maggot, and I know it's not that because the flesh of it was all similar to like a snail, very soft, no shelling, same shape as a leech, just a smaller size, a different kind of leech. I mean, if we're talking UFOs, maybe, this is a Wrath of Khan kind of crap. I don't know. Sure, that sounds crazy. I don't give a shit. Things are happening. So, hey, if something happens to my body, autopsy, cooked flesh because of the microwaving LRADs, damaged eardrums because of the high-pitched sound that can't be blocked out. With the hypnotics, you're going to see a lot of disruptive brain activity, probably some erratic heart-related activity sometimes because it's going to be damaged. The flesh of it will be damaged. I'm pretty sure they have a knack for whatever tone or range that can be used to disrupt your body. But anyway, I mean, the whole idea is to have a weapon that essentially removes them from culpability because you can't associate blame with it. And even if you do an autopsy, it's the kind of thing where the attorney says, well, did you see him do it? And it's like, well, no. And it's like, damn, no culpability. David, yes? This is interesting. It does seem like these kinds of things that you would consider perfect weapons do exist. I have a lot of faith in the universe, in nature. You look at what's happening with the Great Barrier Reef that was bleaching, and now there's this amazing thing happening, which is it's coming back. Maybe the Earth is just evolving to the garbage we're doing to it. I mean, it's been here really long, folks. It's way, 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 way more capable than we realize, I think. I mean, a really simple example is you simply look at the function of your body. It's very advanced. And when you get sick, how it heals itself. Have you thought of that? It's incredible. It's a very beautiful thing. I don't know why I'm rambling. This is tangential. Thank you, Dr. Heidi Collins. Jenna Flagg. Everybody. Jill Cole. Dr. Frederick. Yes, I'm tangential. I know. It's just the emotions running really high because I've been subjected to LRADs and hypnotics now for a really long time. And I feel terrible. I just want to send this out to people. You just find a way to survive and help each other with these sorts of things. They're going to be very complicated to combat. You're going to need to research some really advanced things in an attempt to resist. I think, honestly, one of the best things to do is just simply go where it's difficult for them to have any sort of microwave installations of any kind. At this point, I'm not entirely sure about the range or activity of an LRAD. I know that I was reading about what the police were doing with Black Lives Matter groups. It seems as if, though, they've got something that's fairly sophisticated that they can control. But I just don't know to what degree. back to me again real quick. Just, I was saying, if I die, you're going to see my flesh is screwed. My brain is screwed. My eyes are screwed. My ears are screwed. All this erratic movement and all of this is from me being cooked. This is from me being exposed to things that are really dangerous and really powerful. I mean, it freaks me out with my tongue and everything. I am thirsty all of the time. I cannot eat enough food. I'm trying to think of what else. There's really a lot. What I will say is the experience that I'm having. You see how complicated this is? There's how much damage they've done to me. The experience I'm having is happening on Capitol Hill in Seattle. 2 or 3 years ago, I read a report in the Seattle Times about tech bros coming in. You know, the young generation of people who are these men who are very capable with their software engineering, with their understanding of those things. But the thing that's interesting is they feel disenfranchised because when they went to school, they felt that they learned they're responsible for racism. Now, I will say, I actually think there is definitely some culpability there. That's something, I mean, just simply, listen to this, folks. The acorn never falls far from the tree. If you don't want to be like the tree, then you have to evolve. But the point is, they're replicating these things, these behaviors and stuff. Damn it. I just feel them right now with their LRADs. I might have to record a video in a moment because it's just, you have to understand, I've been subjected to this now, I think, I don't know, maybe most of my life. And here's the reason why I kind of think that might be true. These LRADs, when they go off, when they're doing this thing, first there'll be the high pitch, but now that they've modified them with the microwaving effect, it'll sound like a microwave, like whoa, 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 whoa. It'll be really low, really hard to detect. That's the thing about all of these advanced lights, hypnotics, things like that. They're really, really hard to detect. They're really, really hard to set up and catch. You know, that kind of thing I really think is actually going to be a waste of time. You know, that kind of reconnaissance and that effort, isn't it? I think what you have to do is go straight for the heart and straight for the brain. Like you saw me probably in some of the videos that were posted where I just like interrogated Russ. For some reason, they clam up and then they lie through their teeth when you touch them like that. I don't understand, but they all seem to do the same thing, which is bullshit you and convince you that you're the problem. So as long as you can have faith in yourself and hope and love yourself enough to know that you understand something and believe something worth living for, then you have a leg up on this and you can succeed. I'm going to be fine. Sure, death, whatever. People are like, whoa, death, that's the end. No. Folks, I'm not one of those people that just stops at death. I do admire Stephen Hawking, though, for saying that those who believe in something like eternal life or afterlife are believing in fairy stories because they're afraid of the dark. That's a brilliant thought. Not so much it may or may not be true. It's that it's an interesting challenge to all of what preceded it. Just consider that. Anyway, tangential thinking segues to nowhere. The L line that just says something. Actually, it's really reliable. I shouldn't say that. It's tangential thinking. You see how hard this is, folks. They've cooked it. Any other videos that may or may not have been posted, I think they might have posted them because there's a lot of ass in me coming out because I'm hella angry. But again, I'm going to say you go to those minority groups and those discriminated groups, what do they sound like? You been to a Black Lives Matter rally? Yeah, they yell loud sometimes because they're pissed off at you. And they're tired of being hurt and bullshit and told they're the problem. And it's their fault. And they should get fixed. And it's their inner city neighborhoods. Who's been putting boxes of guns in their neighborhoods for years? You've decided to manipulate an entire group of people just for your own satisfaction and interests. And now you're going the route of despicable warfare. You won't do the kinds of things that are noble, like say your name at a poker table. Hi, I'm Freya Deedenside Lex. It's my intent tonight to play a game of poker where I win a lot of money and I kick all your asses. Here's the thing that's interesting about poker that I just mentioned. You have a face and you have a name and you are at the same table. If you fools who want to keep hiding in the dark, afraid, thinking that you're going to try and change the world with deception, are sadly mistaken. For a nature invested in every single human being that's inherited from the earth itself, that they have the capacity to survive for hundreds of billions of years. I'm not saying that life perpetuates itself like that. I'm just saying that's the spark that is in life. I would submit at the end of the day, that spark is initiated simply by love. And then everything else stems from that. Love is just a fabric of the universe. Sure, fruity and crazy. Love. What does love accomplish? Everything. Love accomplishes the mystery of having more definitions and more ideas and more concepts that make it look like chaos than anything else in the world. Have you ever considered that? You may hear the same things said because people feel similar things. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, look throughout the ages, how many phenomenal ways in which people express their love, believe their love, trust their love. How the stories change in the end. Folks, when I'm here right now, talking like an insane person who's been cooked, I'm saying wherever this goes, there's hope. You're not at fault anymore. I believe in you. I love you. You're living a truth. You people who have been segregated and discriminated against. I stand with you. I want to address a couple of things. What I said about my dad. I don't think this is a great platform to go about it. Here's where I'm coming from with that. And Dad, this is great because I feel like right now we're at one of those Apple relationships where you're on your end with IBM and I'm on my end with Apple and we're just chewing each other. And that's kind of the respect we have. Understand this, Pop. As I've gone through therapy for my own healing, I've had to acknowledge that as my experience to understand why I am the way that I am. You know, I don't understand much about the hate and love thing in relationship to their diversity. Because when I think about it, and I think about you know what I think of? I have all kinds of different things, right? It's that polarity, Dad, main man, and little shit. And the reason you and I are at the space we're at right now is I should stop talking about this. I need to tell you in prison. I just simply wanted to cover that base so you understand where I'm coming from. What would love do there, Pop? Would it heal us? Could we walk back and say, you know, even though that's happened, maybe we can change the future? Maybe you can understand that you do owe me something when you said you didn't. It's not the money. It's not the cars. It's not the possibility of a house or the supporting of a family, which those are none of the things I really want anyway, but do thank you for the Audi. What I'm trying to say, it hurts so much, Pop, in my body. They've cooked it. That polarity is interesting because it's that red light, blue light that I'd mentioned in a previous video about a hypnotic where red is slow, low tempo, blue light, radical. It just kind of cooks you a little bit. And I just have a hard place inside of me pop with regard to you. And when it comes to you owing me something, what I was going to say is, you owe me whatever it takes to help me achieve a life worth living. I guess I do want to say that actually out loud, because I want other people who've experienced, difficulties in their families to understand that these are the kinds of things that it's important to work on. Oh, this is interesting. Bear with me when I set the phone down, okay? No, maybe I won't. Yeah, I got you. It's really interesting how these things work, because what we're having now, the UFOs have been mentioned on CNN for the first time in my life that I can remember, which basically suggests, whoa, we're now dealing with the possible reality of such a thing, right? I also believe in premonitions, magic, what a lot of people believe. I want to show you something. I have this really interesting tattoo on me. It was really inspired a long time ago. Pardon my skinniness. I just simply cannot gain weight, folks. All right, I'm going to try this. I got to put the phone down again. Excuse me. All right. So, the first piece on this tattoo was the very sort of ornate DeFlorian. What the hell is that word? I don't know. It's just a very sort of dainty kind of heart. See, my heart is one of those ones that just looks like that and blooms. That was the start. So we have my heart. Next was this cross, the English cross, which is the representation of my presence in the church. And this is actually something that I used to use my right hand to cross on. So it was one of those, sort of devices. I forget what they're called right now. But it's something that focuses your attention. So we've got there. Now, here's what gets interesting. We have, it's so hard to see. Eric I is the dude who did this, by the way, and this man is incredible. And I really want you to seek him out. He actually does this thing, which is the Eric, I don't remember to call it, but it's when women have cancer breasts, and he does the recreation of the areolas and nipples via tattoo, and it's online, and he has been everywhere written up. Anyway, I hope you can see this. It's really hard to tell. I can't see very well without my glasses, and I can't find them. There's rats, indicative of a plague. That was intentional. There's all those logs, which are in an attempt. They're supposed to look like a swamp, I guess you would say. That's what that's what Eric and I were working on. So interesting, huh? Plague, swamp. For those of you who understand, you'll know what I'm talking about. And we come all the way around. Shoot, see, this is what's so hard with this tattoo. This is what's hard with showing tattoos. Shoot. You see the flames and everything right there. They start down at the bottom. So, what happens? Well, the phoenix rises from the ash. And a long time ago, some really good friends of mine, at that time, Liz and Mark Cover, who I miss dearly, actually, I have to say. I don't have your numbers anymore, so I don't know what to do about that. Anyway, that's the phoenix, and I'm rising, and you'll see all those desiccated trees in the blue flame, which is the hottest fire. All of this horror. And all in the midst of this, you have my heart. And then check this shit out. This is where it gets crazy. Here's where I'm talking CNN. Flying saucer. sorry for my voice, but it cracks me up so much. The reason I got the flying saucer is because if you ask anybody that's ever known me, I am addicted to sci-fi. I'll watch Dune back to back a million times and just be ecstatic and lust over Kyle MacLachlan and Sean Young and think the world of them. The final thing. Death. Be not proud. Where is it? Death. Oh, here's it. Death. Thou shalt die. Now, for me, I'm just gonna say this. I'm sorry, I have some really weird ideas about tattoos, right? That's why mine look so interesting and I have such a story. I just think it has a lot to do with my life and like who I am. Death be not proud. You'll all understand someday, I guess. I don't know. Don't I look like death? There was a person I met, maybe a couple of years now, remember? He introduced himself to me by telling me who I was. This is Mucho Gusto Martha. Those of you who get scared of that and think, like, this is horrible. Please have an imagination. Like Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, both who give you a really interesting take on that being. Just consider the possibilities, folks. I don't even know what I've been rambling about. It's like 80 minutes long, right? Yeah, 21 minutes. Excellent. None of you ever watch this. What am I saying? I want people to watch this. If you do, laugh at me. If you do laugh at me, laugh loud and laugh long, because I earned it. This is kind of just a rant crazy. Please work to help each other. Deal with the LRADs and the hypnotics. They're serious. You can read it in the news everywhere right now. They're super, super dangerous. One of the things that's keen that you need to hear about LRADs, there really is no resistance. They basically say, if you don't want to hit people with the LRADs, don't use LRADs. And so if the police are using those, they're using aggression against you, even if it seems like it's innocuous. It's a form of violence. Violence exists in many ways. Violence is a really interesting thing. This is a violent face. Why? Because it shows all those things in history that we've learned. This is all evolution. People violence comes in so many forms. These new modern weapons are the future of trying to prove them or proving themselves innocent. They're going to use the courts against you. They're going to push you until you do what they want. It doesn't have to work. I'm going to have to re-record this too. I just don't like it. It's so funny. Alright folks, Freya Lex signing off.